the last guy in this bucket that we're talking about is Will Warren, and he has major league experience. So he's the exact opposite end of the spectrum of Xavier Marte. There's not as much upside with Will Warren. He's 25. He's kind of a finished product at this point. 2021 draft, he was a eighth round selection, and he kind of falls into this bucket that, the Yankees just they love these guys. The fastball shape might be a little bit off in college, but they've shown that they can tinker with the fastball shape. They can round up on a bunch of their back end skills. And Will Warren's kind of like a low risk 45. He's on the 40 man, so they don't have to do any sort of maneuvering with him. They don't need to protect him from the Rule 5. He was kind of called up when Garrett Cole was going through his, was he injured? Was he not injured? And then all of a sudden, he pitched fine. Like, most pitchers, when they make their major league debut, do not pitch well. Not a lot of them run away and become Paul Skeens, right? That's why Paul Skeens is such an anomaly. But Will Warren, he had a really good first taste of pro ball with all things considered. And I think he's just sort of, he kind of, nothing really stands out. Like, nothing's truly like double plus or anything like that. But it's a good fastball, 92 to 94. The shape is still a little bit wonky, but it's fine. It plays. He's got a good cutter that he can kind of mix in. He's got a slider that plays off of the fastball. And then the cutter sort of plays off the slider and plays off in the middle, which allows them to sequence and attack batters. And, in a bunch of different ways. You can go fastball, slider, cutter. And then when they start to key in on the fastball and the slider, the cutter comes in. And then he's also got a good changeup, and he's got okay feel. Like, for someone this old as far as the prospect goes, the thing that it is kind of a little bit worrisome that the pitchability isn't outstanding, but he is a ready-made 5-4 starter in his best years.
Definitely. I think that a couple of things come to mind with Will Warren, and it's almost circumstantial just because he's with the Yankees. But either way, Reese, I'm going to ask you, one of the most popular flavors of ice cream in the whole world is vanilla. Will Warren is vanilla ice cream. He's nothing flashy, but at the bottom of an ice cream sundae, with your chocolate, banana, nuts, strawberry, whipped cream, whatever. there's a base there, and I think as a five starter, that's just fine. He's a fine major league starter. Nothing special, nothing flashy, but fine. Now, I will say the Yankees also have the very distinct pleasure of not being able to start five starters. The Yankees' fifth starter is a three or better on any other squad most of the time. That's why you see guys like the Chucker, Ken Waldachuk, and J.P. Sears, Drew Thorpe traded because if they're not a three or better, then the Yankees are going to go trade for that, or they're going to sign that out of free agency. So I think even though Will Warren's proximity is unreal, I think that there's also a very real chance that he is in AAA for the majority of the year.
Yeah, I agree.